Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to my workspace, and today I would just be diving right into it. So hi guys, good morning. I would like to teach you guys how to make your product pictures pop more and stand brighter in your pictures. So we're just going to pick a random picture from my gallery. I'm going to pick a random product photo. I guess you must have seen this transition, this and this too, before you watch this video. So this picture on the left is the before picture, the one on the right is the after picture. So I'm going to show you, using another picture entirely, how to make your products photos pop. Do you understand? Okay, so I'll just go to my crochet pictures, which is here. I'm just going to pick a random picture that I have not even edited before. I've not edited. Okay, I'm going to pick this red one. I'm going to pick this. So we're going to import that into Lightroom. So this first app I'm using is called Lightroom, and it basically deals with editing the colors. It deals with fixing the lighting. It just does a whole lot to your photos, and basically you will enjoy. So normally, if you are just somebody who is just lazy and just wants to get by your day, you would normally just click on this auto button here. But then look at what it's giving us. I don't like this. Some people like this. You can go for this, but I rather build up my photo itself from the scratch. So we're going to undo that by clicking that. So this is our raw picture. So the first thing I start with, I already have presets. I normally have presets that some of them I made the presets myself to edit, my selfie pictures and other people's selfie pictures. And some they're just random. This is one preset here. This is another preset here. This preset even already looks good. I could literally leave my picture like this. It really looks good like this. This is another preset here. This is another preset here specifically for my crochet pictures. So this preset is just here for my crochet pictures, but I want to teach you guys from the scratch, so we're not going to be using that today. So we're going to cancel. This is our raw picture. Okay, so the first place we'll go to is this light. So when we go here, the first thing, I literally deal with every property of each component of light. So the first place I go to is exposure. I increase the exposure because of course you don't want it to be dark, so I just increase it a little bit. We don't want to go overboard with this, so I'm basically leaving it at 0.14. Yes, I increased it to 0.14. Then I go to the contrast. Look at the contrast. Look at what the contrast is giving us. I think we'll have to increase this contrast because reducing it just makes everything look meh. So we'll just increase it just a little bit. I think I'll just leave it as 3. I don't like to make my edits too much because then it will just look like it is over edited. Yeah, so the next thing is highlights. Then I normally turn the highlights down for my for pictures that have people in them, but then I'm going to check this if turning it up, it really doesn't make much of a difference. What it is affecting, if you can notice, is the white background at the back. So I think I would just increase that a little to 3 too. That's enough, honestly. 3 is just enough, sorry. So, and I'll go to the next component, which is shadows. So what I do is that I increase the shadows just a little, because shadows, the component shadows does is that it brightens up the dark part of your photos. So the dark part of my photo will be the white background, because the white background in the photo normally looks dark because I took the picture in a cloudy place, just to show you how bad the picture is. I didn't take it in a bright scenario. I took it when the day was cloudy, so you know how bad the picture was. So look at the before. This is the before, as you can see, and this is how far we've edited it. Look at how bright it's coming up here. So I just increased the shadows to 4. Then the white of the photo, when you increase the white of the photo, it makes the white part of the photo come out more. So this is it. See, the white part of the photo is more increased. This is crazy. I don't want that. Look at the white part is coming down. So what I would just do, mostly I don't really mess with this most of the time. So I just increase it to 2. Then the blacks, if you increase it, it's going to increase the black spot. Then if you decrease it, you can see, if you decrease it, sorry, it's going to increase the black spots, and if you increase, it's going to increase the white spots. So basically what I do is just to decrease it just a little. I think -7 is okay. So we are done with this first part of editing. So the next part is color. This part is the most amazing part because you can individually target each color and deal with them. So the first color I first go for, you see, I clicked on this mix place. First thing I adjust is the red, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to increase the luminance just a little. I think -1 would even be okay. Sorry, I think 1 would be okay. I said -1. I think +1 would be okay. Yeah, because I want the red to pop but not too extra. Do you get? Then I increase the saturation. Saturation is going to make the color stand very bold. So I think +3 is okay for me. +3 is okay for me. I'm not going too crazy. Then the hue is basically like like on a red spectrum, we'll have different spectrum colors of red. We can have bluish red, we can have orangish red, we can have red, we can have yellow red, that kind of stuff. So that's what hue does. Look at that. Can even change it to pink. Look at that, changing it to yellow for me. Can you see? So that is what I'm talking about. So I don't mess with the hue because basically I don't really need it. So I just change this one to +2, and I think I'm fine with that. So you can see that our picture is already standing out. It's already looking amazing, and I'm here for that. So I'm just going to increase the saturation to +4, not too crazy. Don't just go crazy with it. Basically, that's it. And then this orange, I'm not sure. To test what each color would adjust in your photo, the first thing I touch is the luminance. It's to really show you what each color is targeting. So this is okay. You can see that this orange, now if I press it too much, is also even affecting the bralette. So look at that, and it's affecting the flowers. So basically what I'm just going to do with this one is just increase it to +1. Saturation, I just basically bring it to +3. Is that not so much? Maybe just -1. Or let me just increase it just a little. +2. Yeah, +2 is good. Then the hue, I don't really focus on hue too much because hue just basically changes the whole tone of the photo. So here again, to test what color yellow will change, I go here. You can see it's obviously targeting the yellow flowers. So what I just do is that I go to luminance, I increase it to +3. Saturation, I increase the saturation, like giving me the saturation, because saturation just makes the colors pop. I don't know if you're really a photography person, you will really know this, that saturation makes your color stand out more. Okay, so green. So obviously what green is going to affect is the green part of the photo. So we're just going to adjust it however we want. I'm just going to bring it to -2. That's my mood. So saturation, I increase it because I want that part to pop. You want every part of your picture to pop, especially your product, because that is what's going to invite people to click on it and even more so buy. Okay, so the hue, I don't think I want to mess with the hue, but then it doesn't really matter because it's not really an important part of my picture. So, and then blue, I don't really think blue is going to affect anything, but maybe the background, you see, it's never affecting it. You can see that nothing is changing. I'm bringing it down, I'm bringing it up, nothing is changing. Okay, so we'll move to the next color. This one, okay, this is what's affecting the background. I don't really care so much for the background because I'm still going to have adjust the background majorly in another app, but let's just leave it at 9 +9. I don't need to mess with saturation, but let me just see. Okay, I think I'm just gonna reduce it to like 8. I don't normally do this because I will still adjust this in another app. So purple, you can see that there's no purple in this picture. It's just basically still affecting the background, which I don't really need. This too is not affecting anything. It's not really affecting any change. So we are just going to leave this mix. We're done with mix. So the next place I affect, sorry for that, the next place I go to, still on this color tab, I go to vibrant, which basically also like saturation, it makes your colors pop and stand out. So the first thing I do is just to increase the vibrance, not too much because we don't want to be looking crazy. So I think a plus, look at that, look at what it does. It makes a color. See how it's making that yellow color pop. See how it's making everything pop. But I'm not an extra person. I just like minimalism does it. It does it all the time. So I think a +5 will do. Yeah, I think a +5 will do, honestly. So saturation too. This is basically saturation of all the parts of the photo. So I'm just gonna bring that up to a +3, I guess. When you just look at it as you're increasing, look at that now. This would be too crazy. I don't want something like this. I don't like this kind of edit. This would be too crazy. We're not going back to the 90s here. So I just increase it a little bit. So I just make it like +3. I don't want to be too extra, honestly. And you can play around with the tint and the temperature. I really don't mess with that when I'm editing my product pictures. It's only when I'm editing like a picture with people in it, that's when I mess with that, because I already know what I'm going for when I edit my product pictures. Okay, so yeah, you can see that it's really not, temperature was really not giving us anything in particular, so we're just gonna leave. Then tint just affects the way your picture would look like the first impression of a picture is the tint and the hue, so I don't need that. So the next thing is effects. So on this effects tab, you can really literally play with anything, but the most important thing I really do with is the grain feature, which is just this. It adds little like speckles of grain, like dusty stuff. You can see those dusty things. That is what it does, but I don't need that. It's too much. The maximum I add is like 10 or 12. If it's a person, you can see, you can barely even see it. So the maximum I add, especially if it's a person picture, is like 12 + 12, but on this one I'm just going to use 10. And texture, I don't really mess with texture too much because I don't really need it. Clarity, dehaze, when you increase the dehaze, basically increase the pic. You can see what it does. You basically make colors extra when you increase the dehaze, so I don't really use that most times. Then clarity, make it more clear. I already adjusted a lot of things, so I really don't need to affect the clarity. So you can see that this is our before. Look at that, this is the before and this is the after. Look at that, we're already having an amazing picture. Abby. Yeah, we're done using the effects tab. So the next place I go to is detail, and detail basically just increases the sharpness of your photo. Is what makes your photos appear very, very detailed. So detail makes your photo appears very, very sharp. It makes it very clear for people to see. With all these edits, if your photo is low quality, nothing is going to change. It's still going to look like you didn't do a good job. So basically what I do is I increase all the way to 50. I always go 50. I don't even care what's going on. I always go to 50 because it's going to appear so good and so bright. You're going to be so amazed with this. So that is basically what I do in detail. There's also noise reduction, but noise reduction just, I don't really need. What did I just do? So I can just undo when we do anything that we don't want. We just undo. So noise reduction, it's more or less like grain to me. It doesn't really do anything. It's more or less like grain to me, and I don't need it because this is a product picture. This is not a picture with a person in it. So we're basically done. Optics just corrects your lens. You can see that any mistake that your lens makes. So basically when you import your pictures into an app, there may be some little changes that the app might make to your picture. So this lens correction does basically correct whatever mistake your lens may have made. Whatever, that's not really important, honestly. So look, it just magnifies the picture in this case. I don't know if you can notice, small, big. So I don't need it, honestly. Then chromatic aberration, honestly, me myself, I really don't know what this particular feature does. I tried testing it one day and there was really no difference, honestly. So to the best of my knowledge, what chromatic aberration is basically like distortion of colors. So if you want to adjust, let's say, the whole color composure of your picture, then that's if your picture's color composure is not right, you can use this to correct it. So I don't need it, honestly. So yeah, we're done using the Lightroom app. Honestly, we've touched on every important aspect of the app that we need. So what we're going to do now is to export this to our camera roll. Okay, so this is what we're going to click on. This photo was successfully exported. So now we're going to go to our second app, which is the last app I use. I don't go overboard with editing and using like 10 apps to edit. So the second app I already have all my editing stuff in one tab, so this is it. So the second app is Snapseed. So I just go here and I open a photo. The interface of this app is basically amazing. Like, it's so simple, and I love simple interface. So the first, I just click on this photo. So this is the photo we've been editing since from Lightroom. I exported it to my camera roll, and now I've brought it to Snapseed. So this is the picture here. So our main target in the Snapseed app is basically using two tools, which is Selective and Healing. So these two features, Selective and Healing, is basically what I use on this app. Maybe there are other features in this app too which are really in-depth, but for this tutorial we just need two features. So the first place I go to is Healing. So basically what Healing does is Healing. Basically, it removes unwanted parts of your photos, but then you have to be very careful, because if you click anyhow, you're going to ruin your picture. Although you can undo it, but you don't want any messy stuff. So what I really want to undo here are the lines of my cardboard, which are these. I don't want this to show. As you can see in the picture that I edited, you can't even tell this is a white cardboard because of the way I edited it. So I'm going to remove these harsh lines because I don't need them. I want it to look as though I edited this on a white blank canvas. So the first thing I do is to carefully heal those lines. So this is how I do them. I just tap on them, tap like this. You see that mess up that happened here? You see this thing? I don't want to see it. So that's why I gently heal. I don't rush to heal because I want to take my time so that I can get the best results possible from this. So we're just going to go zoom in. I really zoom in because I want the maximum effect. I don't want rubbish. So I go like this. See that part? See, look at the before. This is the after. That's why you have to zoom in so you don't end up healing what you don't want, because this feature can go crazy. So again, this other part, can you see how I did that? Keep going. This other part, you deal with it. Can you see? The more you zoom in, the more control you have over the picture. So you zoom in, heal again. See, you zoom in, you heal again. Look at that. You're just healing, going there, healing like Jesus the healer. Okay, so we keep healing because look at that. See that was a mess up. So you can just undo that and start again. You heal. I guess that pattern of healing is not going to work, so I guess I'm just going to click it like this. Sorry. Okay, so what I do is that I just do it like this. Okay, so I just go ahead to heal it like that. Since this one wants to give us problem, we're going to have to tackle this well. Look at that. See, I have to zoom in very well to attack this one. Look at that. It's really giving me issues here. So you can see I'm just basically healing every single thing. So look at that. Look at that. I have to zoom in so much to do this simple thing. Okay, so now you see that line of cardboard is gone. Don't worry, we're going to fix it in the next part because it may look like it's going from cloudy to rainy day over here, but don't worry, everything is going to be all right. Okay, so what other ash line do we have? We have up here too. So what we're going to do is the same thing. We're just going to magnify and heal. Okay, magnify and heal. Okay, that part is done, and we still have this part over here. I know where my hash lines are because I was the one that took the picture, so I know where my cardboard lines meet. Do you get? So wherever yours meets, heal there. Okay, so this, nobody's going to see this though, but we heal it either ways. Let me touch it up a little. Okay, and then this part is not even noticeable at all. Like you won't even know that there's an hash line here, but I'm going to heal it otherwise because I don't want to be seeing these hash lines after I'm done editing. I don't want to go back and give myself stress. So basically we're done healing all our hash lines. God, I've made a mistake somewhere. Can you see? This is what I'm saying. You don't mess with this tool too much, and I have to undo till I reach this part where I messed up. Okay, you can see this is where I messed up. Okay, so I just go back. Since I already pressed the undo button, I have to go back to redo what I have done before. Okay, so you don't mess with this feature too much so you don't get messed up. So I'm already done using this feature. So you can see that all the hash lines we were seeing before, that we don't see them anymore. Sorry, you can see that all the hash lines we were seeing before, we don't see them anymore. So we just leave that tab. So look at it, look at the before, look at what our picture looks like before healing, after healing, before healing, after healing. So yeah, the next thing we're going to move on to from here is the second tool I talked to you about, which is Selective. So we're just going to click on this Selective. Basically, this is the holy grail of all the edits we're doing. So this particular part is just going to brighten our background. It's basically what makes different parts of the photos stand out. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean now. So let's say I deal with each part of the photo in parts, because basically that's the meaning of the tool Selective. You're selecting a part and you're dealing with it rather than dealing with the whole of the picture in general. You'll see soon. So this plus button that you're seeing here, this plus button is basically when we click on the plus button is already activated now. So immediately you get to the tool, that's when it's activated. So I click on a particular part sorry, excuse me. I click on a particular part of the photo. I want to start with this part here, so I click here. So you can see immediately I clicked on that part of the photo, it brought me here. It brought out this tab here, brightness, blah 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 blah. So what this does, it has different components. Sorry, that's me shifting it around. It has different components. So it has brightness, contrast, saturation, and structure. So each of these components we are going to be using it. So the first thing I start with is brightness. Okay, so I want to edit my brightness. Look at it, look at what I'm saying. See that specific part, see the way he made it so bright, see the way he's making it so low now. Okay, so what do we want? You're going to be the one to judge what you want. So I think I want mine to be around 20. Is 20 too much? I think 20 is okay. Yeah, I think 20 is okay. So I'm going to go to the next thing, which is contrast. So basically for this, because it is a white background, I don't increase the contrast. You can see the contrast, increasing the contrast just makes it look unnecessarily ugly. So what I do is that I reduce the contrast. You can see that reducing the contrast so much really helps me. So I reduce it to like 45, because that's like a nice spot for this picture, and it's not too much. So I reduce it, or let me just bring it down a bit to 42. Okay, so the next thing I do is saturation. What I do here is that I reduce the saturation. I don't increase it, because increasing it makes the background blue. So what I do is that I increase it just a little bit. I reduce it just a little bit, sorry. So I reduce it to like -9-ish. And then the structure, just remember that we're dealing with a particular part of the photo, and the particular part of the photo is where this symbol, where this S is standing. It is right, that S symbol is right in the middle of where we are editing. Okay, so I'm not editing the whole background yet. No, I told you the tool is called Selective for a reason. Okay, so I go to structure. What I do in structure is that I reduce the structure. Look at that. It's basically just looking like we are using a white background, like a whiteboard background. Okay, if you increase the structure, it's going to increase all the roughness. Structure basically is the structural component of your picture. Yes, so if I'm showing, if I took the picture of a wall, you know, the wall has a rough structure. So if I took the picture of a wall and I increase the structure, what the result of that is going to be it's going to show us that this wall is rough. But if I reduce the structure, it's going to smoothen the wall. I hope you understand from that little analysis. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the structure to where we want. You can literally adjust these things when you're done. Like if you think a part is too bright, if you think it's too much, you can basically adjust it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at 26. I'm going to leave it as 26. So you can see that is already looking beautiful. Look at the before, look at the after, look at the before, look at the after. Okay, so we're going to move to another part. So to move to another part of the picture, we're going to click on this plus button again. Okay, and then I'm going to move to this part. Okay, so now we're on that part now. So I'm going to start with brightness per usual. That is too high. I'm going to leave it at 15. go to contrast. We're going to reduce our contrast because we don't want to be looking crazy. Okay, so saturation, we reduce or increase based on what you want. Then structure, we reduce it because we don't want to be seeing harsh lines in our pictures. Okay, so 51 is okay for me. So we're done with that part too. It is really easy to do this thing. Okay, look at the before, look at the after, look at the before, look at the after. So that we're going to deal with another part. So click on the plus button again. This part, this is what we're dealing with now. Okay, so brightness, we're gonna increase it. We don't want to look too crazy, honestly. So I think 20 is okay. 20 is okay. Next thing, contrast, we reduce the contrast. This part is already looking extra contrasty and I don't like that, honestly. So contrast 14. Saturation, we reduce it also because we don't want to be seeing weird things. So structure, we're going to increase that stuff. We're going to increase that structure to the max because this part is really having issues now. This part has issues, so we're gonna increase the structure. Okay, so I think I'm going to reduce the brightness because it's looking too bright now. Okay, it's looking too bright. I think it's okay. So yes, I think we are done with this picture. We are ultimately done. Look at the before. Look at it. Look at how our picture was looking crass before. And look at the after. I can't imagine that we did this, honestly. So yeah, that's the end. Okay, sorry. That's not the end. We're going to export our picture here. Okay, so our photo is exported successfully, and this is our picture. This is what we edited in this tutorial. Yeah, you did that. So this is my normal phone editing, blah blah blah. So this is just what you can do here. I basically crop my photos because I'm going to be posting them on Instagram and I don't want Instagram to reduce my resolution, so I crop it to the recommended size for pictures, which is either a 4x5 or a square. So that's basically what I do, and I just adjust the crop to wherever part I want to show. Okay, I think I want it like this. Okay, so I just press done. And then we are done editing our picture. We are done editing our picture. Thank you so much for joining me on my workspace today. Thank you so much. You're so amazing. God bless you. And if there's anything you don't understand in this video, please make sure to comment that down below. And yeah, I'll be waiting on your comments. Happy editing, and please tag me when you create your own beautiful pictures. Okay, so have a blessed day. I will put the before and the after of what we edited so you can see for yourself. Okay, so that is the end of this video. Share to your friends, share to every business owner that you know so they can level up and step up. Okay, if you want to see more tutorials of editing from me, not just product editing pictures, you can comment that down below too. I edit photos generally because I'm really passionate about photography, videography, and editing, and social media in general. Okay, so have a blessed day. Bye.